Hello everyone and welcome back guys to a brand new video where today we're here back, yes, in my kitchen, and you guys know on the rare occasion I end up in what I like to dub the echo chamber of the house in these videos. Today we're here unboxing something rather special. I've teased it on Twitter a couple of times over the last couple of weeks, but finally, we've got a couple of boxes to get through. A far more important one is this. Yes, the FANATEC CSL DD. I've finally been able to get myself one of these. Really looking forward to obviously diving in with it. A little bit gutted it's still only Xbox compatible at the moment, but it's sort of the only racing game I'm planning on playing sort of a lot on PlayStation is GT7. Obviously that comes like next March, so maybe by then, you know, I've still got my FANATEC base at the moment that still works at the best of times. But yeah, obviously, so I'll keep that ready for Gran Turismo 7 and then I'll have to work out a way to swap out my rigs. But yeah, I must admit, I ordered this all the way back in July, I want to say. Basically, obviously, when they originally announced them. Obviously, everything that's gone on with Brexit and things like that makes it a bit more difficult to get these into the UK. And I can't lie, I've had a lot of issues with my PS4 base. You know, if I hadn't had any issues with that, I would have probably been a bit less tempted to pick up this. But just compatibility errors and just a few other bits and pieces. You know, some of it wear and tear, I can admit. But yeah, just quite a few issues with the software on that base as well. Has given me quite a few issues. You know, every time I go on F1 on my Xbox Series X, I have to reset the wheel because the force feedback just doesn't work. And yeah, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I've had issues with FANATEC stuff in the past. When it works, absolutely incredible. When it doesn't, they're a nightmare, and I'll be honest, sometimes pretty much useless as well. But less about that today. For those of you guys that are obviously aware about what the DD wheel is, obviously you guys all know what this is all about, but for those of you that aren't, DD stands for direct drive, which of course means rather than gears or cogs or anything like that, or a belt, the shaft is directly attached to the wheel. So obviously I'll show you guys in just a moment. Now, I've ordered just the standard 90-watt PSU, the 5 Nm version for now. I might get the booster down the line as well if I order anything else from FANATEC, but I thought at the moment I'll just stick with the 5 Nm as I try and get used to it as well, of course. So yeah, that is that little box there that for some reason comes shipped separately. I'm going to have to keep trying to bend down to get into the shop, but I thought obviously you guys are far more interested in this. So let's get then into the unboxing for this wheel. I'm just going to move my microphone back just a little bit to make sure obviously you guys can still hear me. There, of course, is the box, CSL DD. Every driver has their limit. If you guys have ever unboxed anything FANATEC before, you'll know that they've got all these cool little things that you get when you unbox them. So let's just get on with that. So every driver has their limit. My limit is further than others. Sorry, I'm looking over there just because that's where my camera is previewing from. And then a little bit. And apparently nothing else. Have I... Oh, I've done it in the wrong order, haven't I? So it actually goes, if we do it properly then, every driver has their limits. My limit is a little bit further than others. There we go. So I've completely butchered that to begin with there, but there we go. Opening up the box, trying not to squash me webcam. This is much smaller than I thought it would be. You know, in comparison to my hand there, it is basically, yeah, the same size as my hand, and I've not got, you know, I've got pretty average sized hands, I'd like to believe. What have we got in here first of all? Then we have got obviously just all the screws to attach it to, and then a USB to USB-C cable. So nice to see, you know, they're keeping up with the times with that. Of course, like you get with every FANATEC product, you've got some stickers as well. I imagine my microphone isn't picking up too much of this at the moment, but let's get the actual base out then, of course. Haven't actually picked up any rims to go with this at the moment. Obviously, all your other FANATEC stuff should be compatible with this, unless it is explicitly said on the website that it isn't. So let's get this out then. I mean, she's a heavy little thing. I'll give her that. Credit where credit's due. We'll get rid of the box. I don't think there's anything else in that one. But my God, yeah, this is one dense little package, it must be said as well. I must admit, I'm a really big fan of the design on these things. Like always with FANATEC stuff, it does come rather well equipped and sort of packaged as well. But there we go. There is the base for the FANATEC CSL DD. You can see you've got quite a bit of FANATEC branding, obviously, around it, as you'd expect front. And obviously, on the rear as well, of course, you've got all the UI that you'd expect to get with there. So we've got 2 USB-Cs, of course. Well, that one is to send the data to either your Xbox or your computer. Obviously, you've got the... I'm pretty certain that is the, obviously, bonus power. Oh, no, that might just be the standard power supply for it. So, interesting, they've gone with a 4-pin this time around. You've got a data one as well there, which I'm guessing obviously can be plugged in to other things. And you've obviously got H pattern shifter or standard shifter. Shifter 2, which is generally handbrake, but there's one for handbrake as well. So if you've got 2 different configs or something like that, and of course your pedals in the middle there as well. But I just can't get over how dense this thing is. I know when I've watched reviews online as well there, it's, yeah, as compact, but, yeah, dense package. But it is crazy to see. Obviously, in terms of power, obviously you've got your little power switch there. I must admit, do quite like that. I always thought, like, the normal one on the CSL PS4 base was a bit flimsy, a bit cheap. Obviously, when it comes to mounting, though, this thing pretty versatile. Obviously, for those of you that haven't seen, obviously you get these 4 little screws that come with it as well. And if I just get one out to show you quickly, what you can basically do is just slide it in, as you can see there, obviously, and then you can just move it around to where you need it and everything like that, which is obviously really, really useful. Might be a bit of a pain to get it set up originally there, but obviously, yeah, really, really useful. So obviously it can be used on a lot of different rigs. I'm actually looking at trying to get a new cockpit to obviously use this thing with as well. I'm obviously going to be sticking with my PS4 rim just for the... sorry, my PS4 base even just for a couple more weeks. As I'm looking at a couple of other options, you know, if there's any sort of sim cockpit companies out there that fancy hit me up, yeah, definitely get me on Twitter there. I'd love to work something out with someone as well there. But you can just see, having a look though, this is what I mean about the shaft, obviously. There's no belts, anything like that. It just connects directly into this. Sorry, I'll do it like that so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. You can tell I don't do many pieces to camera like this as well there. Yes, so cool to finally get my hands on this. Obviously it got delayed. It was meant to actually arrive last month, about 6 weeks ago now. Obviously because trying to import stuff into the UK as well is very, very fun to do nowadays. But I'm really, really happy I've finally been able to get my hands on this thing as well there. But yeah, this was sort of one of the big things. You know, like I said, I pre-ordered this back before F1 2021 came out. At that point, we had like 13,000... No, I think we just hit 15k before F1 2021 came out. So I ordered this back in June, so it was just before we hit 15k. Obviously, you guys have been ridiculous with the support. We've crossed over 21.5k at the time of recording this. 22k, 25k might be doable by the end of the year as well. So I cannot thank you guys enough for the continued support. Obviously, I'll be doing a full review of this in the coming weeks. Obviously, once I've got it all installed and everything like that. But I thought, you know, you guys might want to just watch a little bit of an unboxing video. You know, €350 for this. Obviously, import into the UK is a bit expensive. But FANATEC on the last thing I ordered did actually do a refund for something. Not too sure whether it was obviously for the import tax. I think it was obviously because they can't charge VAT on something that you have to charge import tax. So it's all very, very confusing now living in the UK. If you don't live here, just don't. But yeah, really, really happy to finally get my hands on the new baby as well there. But let me know down in the comments below, obviously, whether this is something you guys want to pick up. Like I said, once I've got it all installed, all set up, everything like that, you know, there's plenty more content I'm going to be doing with this. Obviously, going to do a full review of it on F1 2021. Actually, really well timed in the fact that Cody's have now added full support for it as well on F1 2021 and sort of a whole profile as well there. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed, and yeah, we'll be back very, very soon with more sim racing content, sim racing reviews. We'll see what happens. A massive thank you for the continued support from all our channel members. If you want to be featured in these end clips, make sure you click the join button down below. But yeah, once again, a massive thank you to the Travesty, Patrick, Chuan, David, Ben, Aidan, F. Stathios, Cato, Sean, Johnny, McBlam, and Mighty Spork for becoming channel members. The support is really, really appreciated.